Happy Tag Tuesday, y'all. Today's tag is from the Uncommon Reader. It was originally created by Off the Bookshelf by Mike at Bibliophile Reads. Off the Bookshelf is the tag title. So it's created by at Bibliophile Reads. 20 questions. Here we go. When not filming or reading, what does a normal day in your life look like? Work, school, etc. Where do you feel comfortable sharing? Whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Yes, so currently I'm working from home. Previously, I worked from a studio. Although I am on site in Thailand, my students are in the south of Thailand. Apparently, there's trouble getting native teachers there because of some unrest. It's a Muslim area. There's not really too much going on, but apparently foreigners don't want to go down there. And therefore, we beam in remote to their classrooms. So I enjoy that mission of helping the south of Thailand connect with the center and connect with the wider world, although it's English business more than, Shakespearean scholarship. I try to imagine I'm doing some good in the world, and the students are lovely. The curriculum is what it is, and that's my work. And when I was in the office, I was salaried. Now I work from home, which is great, except lonely, A, and B, all my cancellations now count against my salary, which means barely scraping by. And especially when you consider there's the months when there's no classes at all, when I don't have any income at all. So I'm not sure how sustainable this is going to be. I'm looking to move from Bangkok somewhere cheaper and cooler, because AC bills are huge. Y'all here, it's been over 100 most of the last couple of weeks here in Bangkok. So maybe move to the mountains or maybe to the beach, little beach breeze. We'll see where I end up. So what kind of work do I do? That explains it. I've not always been a teacher. Sometimes been a social worker. Generally work with displaced people, refugees, immigrants, evacuees, things of that nature, homeless people. And my work, does it change how I read and what you notice in stories? No, there have been times when I did a lot of reading in education, times when I did a lot of reading in social work and other issues of that nature. But not much of that anymore. I pretty much read purely for pleasure now. I also used to be an academic, so that involved a lot of different kind of reading of, literary criticism and things of that nature. I still read that because it's my pleasure. All right, are you a morning person or a night owl? Very much a night owl. Teachers need to be morning people. This has always been a problem for me. I do my best. I am getting older. It is harder to stay awake through a full day. I find I do a lot of micro sleeping all the time, especially in the heat. Do I recharge being alone or talking to people? I recharge talking to people, in that I'm very isolated here. In fact, now that I don't go in the office, I can say that I now finally speak Thai more than I speak English. When I tell you how miserable my Thai is, you'll know how reduced my social exchanges are. They're basically with shopkeepers. I am not recharged very well these days. What drains me? Too much socialization or too much isolation. What's something you enjoy that has nothing to do with reading? I love sports, and I've reached a size where it's not really possible for me to do them, and I really miss that. I miss play. I miss, it's good for your exercise is obviously good for your mental health. It's just a way to forget all the things. I'm too much in my head. What other things do I really enjoy? I used to enjoy board games, but that's become, people take it so serious now. I loved role-playing, but I haven't done that in ages. I don't computer games, so I don't have that. I just recently started doing GeoGuessr, so that's kind of fun. It's where you sort of pop in randomly on a map in Google World and figure out where you are. Do I like planning ahead or figuring things out as I go? I'm a person very comfortable. I was raised by hippies. I'm very comfortable with discomfort. I'm comfortable with, random situations, playing things by ear, all that stuff, off the cuff. I also do like planning things. It's good to have things, particularly to look ahead when you live with depression. It's very important to have what they call PPA, planned positive activities. I find that I don't have a lot of those anymore. My calendar used to be a lot more full of certain holidays, vacations, parties, trips, just things when you have a full social life that this and that is going to happen in this month or that week, and you have those to look forward to. I make my outings now sort of when I reach the weekend. I see how much money and or energy I have and figure out what, if anything, I can do, in terms of going to a gallery or going to explore a neighborhood or things of that nature, or a temple. Do I like working alone or alongside others? Alongside others. I miss having a team. Peace Corps was wonderful that way. I was with a group of people that I really respected, who were very smart but also caring, daring, just really that I, felt part of. And I'm usually feel alienated from most groups, so that was huge. I also had, of course, my village. They were incredibly welcoming and supportive. I work alone pretty much exclusively now. And I've always done that as a writer, which is why I like having my vocation being something that's more social, like social work or teaching. Though one can get very burnt out, so sometimes one wants to, thinks that one wants to just, be alone. But I'd like to be a librarian. That's what I would like to be doing now, for the second half of my life. What kind of pace do you prefer in life? Busy, steady, or slow? Steady. Too busy. I don't have the energy for busy anymore, but I feel like when I'm busy, I am happier. When I think of the periods of my life when I was happy, I had a lot of things going on. I say that, but I do keep moving to countries specifically for the slower pace of life. I lasted 2 months in Korea before we jumped ship to Thailand, which is a lot more laid back. So I guess there's a lot. I guess I like the culture to be slower and myself to be a little more active within that. Okay, what's a simple task you strangely enjoy doing? I love washing dishes. I love organizing things. In fact, almost maybe to a mania. I'll constantly be sorting, YouTube videos into different files or whatever it might be. I'm sure if I had a bookshelf, I'd be constantly reorganizing it. My doctor diagnosed me with my bipolar elements when I told him that my wife used to laugh at me that she never knew when she came down in the morning how the furniture would be arranged. Which we treated as a joke, and luckily I think she was good. She wasn't perturbed by it. She was very good natured, but it is probably a problem. Am I naturally early on time or late? I'm very on time. I'm quite. All of the little politenesses are very important to me. I was raised by a Brit, not for nothing. And I'm happy being in cultures with slow time that you arrive whenever. But I myself like to be on time. But I don't like to be rushed, so I like to take my time and have, when I meet someone, I want to meet at the coffee house so I can be there already and relaxed, and they can show up whenever they do, on time or not. I don't want to meet you on some crowded corner somewhere and pray that we both arrive just on time and don't end up missing each other and calling 14 times back and forth. One of the things I hate, with so many things to hate with the cell phone culture, is everyone changing plans all the time last minute. It's just like, let's just make a plan and stick to it, guys. All right, so enough of that. What do I tend to overthink? What motivates me more? Curiosity or responsibility? Curiosity, absolutely. In fact, that's probably one of my main values in life, and one of the things I look for in friends and lovers, and just endlessly curious. What do I tend to overthink, and what helps me to feel grounded? I tend to overthink almost everything. What helps me feel grounded is meditation, um, being around grounded people, um, proper sleep schedule, uh, village life. Okay, what's something I always notice when I enter a room? I would say I'm not super detail oriented. Um, and yeah, if I enter someone's home, the bookshelf is the first place I look at their books. That's something I would definitely notice. Otherwise, I don't tend to walk in and examine the decor in great detail and that sort of stuff. All right. I guess I noticed the aura, the feel, the vibes, I guess the kids are saying, of a place. Yeah, I noticed that much more. I get a feeling for things very much. Kind of from the gestalt, which means sort of like from the whole that's more than the sum of its parts. That's what I notice. Interesting. That's a neat question. This is a very good tag. It has some interesting questions, even though they're not about books. What kind of humor do I naturally use? Well, y'all tell me. I have humor videos on here. I have a whole playlist of humorous videos about humorous books or where I do skits or things of that nature. I think I can be very silly, so it's very childish humor. Witty, definitely. I love wordplay, from the dumbest pun to the most elaborate, Shakespearean dialogue. It can be abstract and esoteric. Of course, I'm British, so I love British humor in its wackier and its more sort of uncomfortable forms. Yet I love Twain. My favorite humorists are, and I also love Woody Allen. Basically, show me the humor that I don't like. I think pretty much. Do you usually multitask or single task? Multitask, I think. I tend to, in my happy life, when I'm happy, have a job and also a volunteer thing going on, and also something that I'm studying. That's how I prefer to have my life structured. When I'm reading, I always have 7, 8, 10 books on the go. Yeah. What's my default reaction to free time? Plan or relax? Relax. Like I said, especially with limited resources, or in these days more and more energy resources, you just don't know what you're going to be working with till you're there. So, in fact, I had a wonderful birthday outing recently, but I had to take a nap in the middle of it, which thank goodness I'm able to do in Bangkok by ducking into a massage place and getting a cheap foot massage. I was just so dead. It was so hot. And then after that, I was totally recharged and was able to enjoy the rest of the outing. Otherwise, I would have had just enough energy to get the hour-long subway saga home. Okay, are you comfortable with silence around other people? I've had periods where I was deeply uncomfortable by silence, and definitely always trying to fill the silence. Not by talking, but by asking questions. Then I've also had periods, especially for some time after Peace Corps, I really learned to be comfortable with silence. In fact, to love it. And arguably, that's a thing that's missing from my life. It just began a beautiful raining. And if I were able to just sit here on the patio, open the door, it's cool enough when it rains, and just listen to the rain for an hour, I think that would be better for my mental health. But the truth be told, when I end up recording this, I will almost surely put on the TV just for the noise or the company or whatever. So I think I need a little more silence in my life. I need nature time. I definitely need to get out of the big city. Okay, 20. Do I usually remember conversations or impressions? Both. As I said, I am an impressions person. However, the things that I tend to remember are conversations because I'm a storyteller, because I love words, because I'm so curious. I end up asking people lots of crazy things, and they tell me usually a lot more stuff about themselves than they're usually telling people, which they sometimes enjoy and sometimes not. And those things tend to be memorable, whether it's a crazy dream they had or, yep, that's it. Those are the 28 tags, and I will tag some people with this because I think it's a fun one. I don't know who already did it. I'm looking, seeing some of my friends have already done it. So maybe I'll tag some randos, some people from my subscriber list that I haven't tagged in a while. This is the last tag that I have, and it's been sitting there for some time. Apologies to the Uncommon Reader for that. And I don't have any more tags. No one has been tagging me the last months. So and if you want me to keep doing tags, they are my most popular. Please do tag me. Otherwise, I can go through old tags like I've been doing and mishmash them. But I'm not inclined to want to be giving tons more time to that. So yeah, tag me on the ones that you want to hear from me. That really lets me know what you're interested in, right? So please tag me. Okay, thank you. Bye. Oh, and please subscribe and all that good stuff too.